Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the December 5th Pitt County Commissioners meeting. Thank you all for attending. At this time, Madam Clerk, if you would please do roll call.
Yes, everyone is present.
All right, thank you. At this time, Commissioner McLawhorn is going to do our invocation, followed by Commissioner Perkins-Williams with our pledge.
Shall we pray? Thank you, O Lord, for life, health, and strength. We ask now that you lead and guide us as we discuss the business of this county. That's all these blessings in thy holy name we pray. Amen.
Let us turn and face the flag. Now I'd like to introduce Miss Elena Simmons, a 3-year-old that we'd like to have to do the pledge. So you want to talk in a minute? Okay, don't be shy now. Say, speak. Yes. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Okay, at this time, I will turn the meeting over to Madam County Manager, and she will issue the oaths of office.
Yes, at this time, I am thrilled that we will issue oaths of office. Kimberly Hines, Clerk to the Board, will administer the oaths for Ann Floyd Huggins, Mary Perkins Williams, and Lauren White, followed by Judge Brian DeSoto. We're grateful that you're here with us this evening to issue the oaths for Mark Smith, Benji Holloman, and Chris Nunnally. And we'll do them in that order. If Kimberly, you will go down front with Commissioner Floyd Huggins. And Commissioner Floyd Huggins, anyone you would like to be present with, you can come forward now.
Yes, I've got my daughters, brothers, cousins.
And if you would like, and you are welcome to introduce them if you would like, when they come forward.
My daughter Charlotte, my sister Yvonne, my daughter Sabrina, okay. Wait.
Everybody?
Brother is over here, and your daughter.
If you would place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear that I
I do solemnly swear that I, and Lord Huggins,
will support the Constitution and laws of the United States
will support the laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge my duties
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
as my office as a Pitt County Commissioner.
as my office as Pitt County Commissioner.
So help me God.
So help me God.
They didn't ask, I think they're pictured out, unless we want someone. Do we want someone to stay right there now?
Do you want to continue to hold the Bible for the preacher? Okay. I think they were going to, is he really taking?
Yes, could you stay for one more quick one?
Three, two, one. Three, two, one.
Next will be Mary Perkins Williams.
I'm going to have my friend for a long time to come up. Come on, Mima.
Bible for you?
I would like to.
Okay. Do you have the Bible?
Thank you, Don.
Hold it like that. Very tight. Place your left hand on the Bible. Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly
Affirm that I, Mary Perkins Williams,
that I, Mary Perkins Williams,
will support the Constitution and laws
will support the Constitution and laws
of the United
of the
States
United States
and the Constitution and laws of North
and
Carolina,
the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge my duties
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a Pitt County Commissioner.
as a Pitt County Commissioner.
So help me God.
So help me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Over.
And then Lauren White.
Smile.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
Yes, this is my boys, James and Christian, they're gonna hold the Bible for me.
If you place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand, repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I, Lauren White,
that I, Lauren White,
will support the Constitution and laws
will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a Pitt County Commissioner.
as a Pitt County Commissioner.
Congratulations. One, two, three. One, two, three.
And now I would ask Judge Brian DeSoto to come forward to administer the oaths, first of Mark Smith, then Benji Holloman and Chris Nunnally. Thank you, Judge DeSoto.
My family come up and my town of wonderful family. I got my 4 boys and my wife Lisa, my mom and dad, and then we have Councilman Moore, we have Kenny Lassiter, our town attorney, Terry Parker, our town manager, our mayor, Ricky Hines, and our councilman, Johnny Moore. I brought a whole crew.
Let me just say briefly before we get started, again, I'm Brian DeSoto, District Court Judge. I've been asked to administer those for Commissioner-elect Smith, Tolliman, and Commissioner Nunley. Each of them I've known a long time, and Commissioner Nunley's case I've known my whole life. But in any event, I know they care deeply about Pitt County. I look forward to their service, and I commend all the commissioners for the hard work they do for this wonderful county that we all love. So if you will, for me, if you'll place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right, and if you'll repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that
I do solemnly swear that I,
Mark Smith,
Mark Smith,
will support the Constitution and laws
will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office as Pitt County Commissioner,
of my office as Pitt County Commissioner,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
One, two,
Commissioner Smith, you can take your seat up here to my left. Next, we'll call Benji Holloman.
This is Jonathan Houghton. My girlfriend. Hey, Glenda. I see you. Oh, and Ralph's coming too.
Okay. Place your left hand on. Raise your right. You ready? Yep. All right. All right, so if you repeat after me, I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I, Benji Holloman,
that I, Benji Howell,
will support the Constitution and laws of the United States
will support the laws and Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office as Pitt County Commissioner,
of my office as Pitt County Commissioner.
so help me God.
So help me God. Congratulations. This is a historical moment for whatever is in the making.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
Commissioner Holloman, you can assume your seat to the right of Ann Huggins. And then Commissioner Chris Nunley.
If you repeat after me, I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I, Christopher Nunley,
that I, Christopher Nunley,
will support the Constitution and laws
will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of the State of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as Pitt County Commissioner,
as Pitt County Commissioner.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations to you, my friend.
Yes, thank you.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
Hey, tied in.
Special thanks to Kimberly Hines and Judge DeSoto for administering those oaths this evening. And we will turn it back to you, Madam Pro Tem.
Okay, at this time, I will turn the meeting over to our county attorney, Mr. Jordan Smith, for the election of chairman and vice chair.
Thank you. Consistent with your rules of procedure, the next item of business is to elect a chair and vice chair. I will quickly read the ground rules that are in your agenda packet on page 2. Any commissioner may nominate any other commissioner for chairman or may nominate the current chairman or vice chair for a second term. Nominations do not require a second. It is not necessary to open or close nominations by motion. Once all commissioners have had an opportunity to make a nomination, the board shall vote with the last nominee being voted on first, and continuing in reverse order. A supermajority vote of the entire board is necessary to elect the current chair or vice chair for a second term. Otherwise, a simple majority is necessary. So those are the ground rules for both offices. We'll just need a simple majority since the current chair and vice chair are no longer in office. We will have the nominations and election of chair first. Then after that, vice chair. Same rules apply for both offices. Are there any questions about the process or procedure? Hearing none, I will open the floor to nominations for the position of chair.
Madam Chair, I would like to nominate Mary Perkins Williams as chair.
At this time, I would like to nominate Commissioner Tom Colson for chair.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, and consistent with the rules, we'll vote on these nominations in reverse order. A simple majority would be needed to be elect either one of them to be the position of chair. We'll begin with Commissioner Colson, and we're voting by hands. All in favor of Commissioner Colson being elected chair, please raise your right hand.
Give me 1 second. Got it.
All in favor of Commissioner Mary Perkins Williams being chair, please raise your right hand. And with that, Commissioner Mary Perkins Williams is elected chair. Congratulations. We'll proceed to vice chair at this time. Once again, the same rules apply. And with that, I will open the floor to nominations for the position of vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Chris Nunnally.
Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Hearing none, we'll close the floor for vice chair nominations. All in favor of Chris Nunley being vice chair, please raise your right hand. Congratulations to Commissioner Nunley being elected vice chair. And I believe with that, we'll take a brief recess and then proceed with the meeting. Congratulations.
Thank you. As the chair-elect, I'd like to thank my colleagues for your confidence that you've given me by electing me as chair. I appreciate you. The first order of business is the rule of procedure. May I have your pleasure? Is there a motion?
I so move for acceptance.
Second.
That was moved to accept, and it was seconded by
I believe it's Commissioner Floyd Huggins.
Commissioner Huggins. Are we ready to vote? All in favor, let it be known by showing your right hand.
Are we, just to clarify, are we approving what's in the packet?
Yes.
As it-
Yes,
As
the
written,
ones
yep.
that are with the changes.
With the
Appro-
revised changes?
Right.
Okay, so
There's two
just for
different things.
clarification, there's two different
Right.
things. In your weekly packet, you had proposed revised changes. In your agenda packet this evening, there are no changes. It is affirming the rules as they are. So we just need some clarification as to the motion and second. Is it with the changes or without the changes?
Well, I thought it was with the
Do-
changes, but
Do you want to wait till the next meeting?
Your rules of procedure require that you
Can we do it
consider it this
tonight?
evening.
Madam Chair, may I make a substitute motion that we approve the rules as stated with the change in our weekly information packet?
Is there a second?
I second it.
It has been moved by Commissioner Nunnally that we approve the rules of the procedure, and was seconded by Commissioner Ward that we accept. All ready to vote?
I think there's discussion.
Discussion?
I think that calls for one of the meetings to be moved to 9 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, and that is a
No,
problem for me.
so I will revise my motion that the meeting remain at 6 o'clock but that we have 3 minutes for public comment regardless of the organization.
I second that.
You ready to vote? All in favor for the change, let it be known by showing your right hand. 3 minutes for public session and at 6 o'clock meetings. You have that, Ms. Clerk?
Yes, thank you.
The motion passed unanimous. Individual security bond, as it says in our packet, that we must approve the security bond. It's on page 25 of your agenda. Any discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Huggins that we approve the security bonds, a second by Commissioner Nunnally. Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by showing your right hand. The motion is unanimous, Madam Clerk. Let me take my agenda out. We will now have the approval of the agenda.
I move for approval of the
Second.
agenda as stated.
A motion to approve the agenda as presented, Madam Ward, and it's second by Commissioner McLaughlin. Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by showing your right hand. That being unanimous, Madam Clerk. Thank you. Public addresses to the board. Madam,
Chair, there are no one signed up to speak.
no one has signed up for public comments. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address us at this time? Then we will accept the agenda without public comments. Presentation, Madam, where is that?
You call Sam Croom.
Sam Clunes, where is that?
It says out right here. It says Elsa Watts, but Sam's going to introduce her.
Okay,
Good evening, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr.
Commissioners, Madam Manager. It's good to be with y'all tonight. Tonight, I would like to introduce Elsa Watts with the Certified Public Accounting Firm of Martin & Stearns and Associates. She is tonight filling in for Tanya Thompson, who was our audit manager through this audit. Tonight, Ms. Watts will be presenting the county's audited financial statements for the fiscal year June 30th, 2022. Thank you.
thank you. Ms. Watts?
Good evening.
Good evening.
On behalf of Martin Stearns and Associates, I'd like to present Pitt County's 2022 audited financial statements. Some audit highlights. The county received an unmodified opinion. This is a clean audit opinion. I would like to thank Sam and Chris and the rest of the finance department for all their hard work on the audit this year. It's always a pleasure working with them, and we look forward to continuing that working relationship. Looking at your fund balance, total fund balance for the year was $68.4 million. You had non-spendable items of $309,000. Stabilization by state statute was $10.1 million. This gives you an available fund balance of $57.9 million. This is an increase in available fund balance of $5.7 million. Again, your fund balance available for the general fund was $57.9 million. You had net expenditures of $179.3 million. This gives you a fund balance available percentage of 32.3%. The LGC minimum is 16%. Looking at your general fund summary, revenues were $178.1 million. This is an increase of about 5%. And your expenditures were $159.9 million, an increase of about 10%. I will detail these further along in the presentation. Looking at your breakdown of the revenues for the general fund, you had property taxes at 60%, other taxes and licenses were 18%, restricted intergovernmental revenues 15%, and other revenues were 8%. Property taxes were $106.9 million, an increase of 5%, overall comparable there. Other taxes and licenses were $31.3 million, an increase of 11%, mostly due to your local option sales taxes. Your federal and state grants were $27 million, an increase of about 5%, mostly social services grants. General fund had human services at 28%, education 32%, public safety 25%, and other expenditures 14%. Public safety was $40.4 million, an increase of about 6%. Human services was $44.1 million, an increase of 16%. This is mostly due to health and DSS, including your energy programs. You had some salaries paid with the CARES funding. Education was at 51.2 million, an increase of just under 4%. And then looking at your quick ratio for the solid waste fund, you had current assets of just over 1 million, current liabilities 967,000, and a quick ratio of 1.04. The LGC would be concerned if it were less than 1. Cash flow for solid waste, cash flow from operations was 1.2 million. Debt service was 154,000, and this gives you a net of just over 1 million. The LGC would be concerned if this were negative. And you did have a performance indicator, a red flag identified this year. There was a statutory violation, excess expenditures over appropriations in the solid waste fund, and this requires written communication by the board to the LGC within 60 days of this audit presentation. You had some positive performance indicators as well. General fund available fund balance percentage was positive. You had timely audit submission and stable property tax valuation and collection percentages. And this concludes my presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions from the board? What's your pleasure?
Do we need a motion to accept?
Second it.
It has been motioned by Commissioner White that we accept the presentation, second by Commissioner Ward. Are there any discussions? You ready to vote? All in favor, raise your right hand. Madam Clerk, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item for report. Mr. Crooms, thank you.
Good evening again. My second item tonight is a good news item. In Pitt County, receiving the Governmental Finance Officers Association's Excellent in Finance Reporting Award for the fiscal year 2021 for its annual comprehensive financial report. Pitt County has received this award for 32 consecutive years. The Excellent in Financial Reporting Award must accomplish 4 goals. It must satisfy general accepted accounting principles, must satisfy legal requirements, must be easily readable, and effectively organized. I would like to recognize Chris McDaniel and the financial services staff for their dedication in providing the information that goes into this document that helps tells our financial story. In addition, I want to thank Chris McDaniel for his 24 years of working for Pitt County and congratulate him on his upcoming retirement on December 30th of 2022. I recommend the board to accept the award and recognize the contributions of the financial services staff.
Motion to approve, Madam Chair.
It's been motioned by Commissioner McLaughlin that we approve the report, second by Commissioner Nunley. Any discussion? Are we ready to vote? All in favor, let it be known, showing your right hand. Madam Clerk, the motion is approved unanimously. We'd like to commend the young man that will retire on December 30th. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Next item.
It's the manager's report. Madam Chair, I have a series of dates to share with you this evening. Your next meeting dates are December 19th at 6 p.m. and January 9th at 6 p.m. in this auditorium. The next item is the Town of Farmville's Mayor's Breakfast Reception, which will be held on December 10th at 9:30 a.m. at the Farmville Town Hall for those commissioners who can attend. Your third item is the Pitt Soil and Water Breakfast will be held on December 13th, 2022 from 8:30 to 10:30 in the morning at the Mark Owens Auditorium for those commissioners who are able to attend. Also,
And for new commissioners, you all need to attend.
the next item is to remind folks that we will have the Jolly Jamboree on December 15th at the Health Department, at Pitt County Cooperative Extension, sponsored by the Health Department, from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 7 p.m. And lastly, a reminder to mark your calendars for Pitt County's legislative breakfast on January 6th, 2023, at 8 o'clock in the morning at the Eastern AHEC Center, and you'll be receiving additional information about that. That's all that I have.
Madam Attorney.
Are there any questions? Okay.
The Jolly Jamboree, could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, the Jolly Jamboree is a continuation of an event sponsored by a health department where they will have tables outside with various literature about the programs that they have offered at the public health department. Members of the public are encouraged and welcome to attend, and I believe your own Dr. Silvernail, as public health director, will read a holiday story to children, as he does every year as well. An offshoot in the past, you may have seen him do the Polar Express. I'm not sure if he'll do that same story this year, but it will be a really neat opportunity for the community to learn more about the services at the Pitt County Public Health Center.
Thank you.
And do you recommend that the members of the board attend?
Absolutely.
Commissioner Ward did suggest to the two new commissioners that they attend. Your choice. Thank you. Items for consent. Pleasure of the board.
Madam Chair, I move accept.
Seconded.
We have a motion by Commissioner Nunley that we accept the items for the consent, and it was seconded by Commissioner Smith. Did I get it right? You did. Thank you. Any discussions? All in favor, let it be known by showing your right hand. Madam Clerk, the motion passed unanimously. Thank you. Are we finished?
Nope, we've got items for decision. When you go on your second page, it'll be right. Here.
Thank you. Item number 10, items for decision. Mr. Tim Corley, please. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chair. First, I'd like to congratulate all the new and existing members that were sworn in tonight, and congrats to our new chair and vice chair. So glad to have you all leading us forward. Tonight, we're talking again about the Pitt County Sheriff's Administration Building. I've come in front of you all several times to discuss this project and the progress we've made. We bid this project finally on November 8th. We had 4 bidders that we received bids from. The low bid on the project was from Daniels & Daniels Construction. All the bids, I believe there was a bid tab within your package. All the bids were pretty close, which is a good sign. That means it was a good bid. Our architect, John Farkas, who's here tonight, was confident that the documents that were provided for the bids were good documents. Everyone understood the bid, and the low bid came in from Daniels & Daniels for $15,645,000. This, along with the other parts of the project, including fees and design fees and other elements of the project, bring the total project budget to $16,928,508. That is about 3.7 million over what we told you last time we were in front of you. So the market, as I've mentioned before, is very volatile. Bids are all over the place, very expensive. So it was surprising that they were this much higher, but at the same time, not very surprising. So we are where we are. There's a couple options moving forward. The board can, their pleasure, approve of the bids as they were submitted and allow us to move forward with the project as it was designed. There's always an option as well to go back and talk with the contractor and work with our architect to identify reductions in cost savings, not necessarily changing the overall scope of the project. It's difficult here to change the size of the building because we've pretty much made it to a point where it's the space that the sheriff needs to have to house all her employees. So the space is really going to be difficult to change. It's going to be elements of the building that may change, some other things. As well as rebidding this project, bids could come in even higher if the economy goes that direction, if the climate of bidding goes that way as well. So there are some risks associated with both those options. But there's also the financing piece of this, and before you make a decision, I'll let Janice talk about the financing, how the financing will be done on the project before we go any further.
Yeah, so I've had some conversations with Sam Krum, your Chief Financial Officer, and the board had previously indicated that this would be a project that we would finance through a bank loan. And we've met with our financial advisor, and we've mapped out a financing calendar, which is included in your packet. And I also had her run the numbers based on anticipated rates if we did an RFP for banks. And the difference between a $17 million borrowing as the current low bid would require, and a $16 million borrowing if we went back to seek reductions, is at or about less than $100,000 per year in your annual debt service. So as the schedule would go forward, you'd be paying about $1.5 million if we were able to reduce $1 million from the project, and about $1.6 million if you did not. So based upon the impact on the financing, it would be my recommendation that it would not be worth reducing the quality of the product that you would receive. And so my recommendation, based upon that financing, would be for this board to authorize us to move forward with contracting with the lowest bidder, Daniels & Daniels, and to authorize the finance office to issue an RFP to banks so that we can bring back to the board both a contract for your approval for construction and a tabulation of bank loan options in line with what we're expecting.
Any questions to the manager?
Also, we'll remind the board that the sheriff now is at 4 or 5 different locations. We are paying rent at a few of those locations, so this will consolidate that, and some of those expenses that are incurred now would be no longer part of the budget.
Exactly. And Madam Chair, if I may also recognize that the sheriff is present. She and I spoke last week about this as well, and she is supportive of this recommendation.
Madam Chair, motion to approve the
Second.
county manager's recommendation.
It has been motioned by Commissioner Nunley that we approve the manager recommendation. It was seconded by Commissioner McLaughlin. Is that correct?
That's right.
Are you ready to vote? All in favor, let it be known by showing your right hand. Madam Clerk, the board votes unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
To approve the manager's recommendation. Next item, Mr. John Denmery,
Good evening.
10-2.
Madam Chair, board members, congratulations to the new board members. Look forward to working with you. I'm here tonight to talk about our 14 collection sites in the county. The county contracts for the staffing of the sites. Original contracts were signed back in 2008 with Management Support and Development to operate 9 of the sites, and Trust Denham Group to operate 5 of the sites. Back in the spring of this past year, Management Support and Development sent the county a letter saying that he was going to retire and no longer wanted to contract with us. So we reached out to Holden Temporaries till we could put some formal bids together. They've been operating the nine sites for the last few months. RFP was prepared and sent out. 3 companies responded, and the bid tabulations are in your packets. We are recommending a 12-month contract with additional 12-month renewal, 2 additional renewals beginning January 1st, 2023. Proposals were based on cost per hour to the county, hourly rate paid to the attendants, and employee benefits that they would provide. It is recommended by the staff to award the contract of all 14 sites to Holden Temporaries at a cost of $12.60. That's the county's cost. That takes care of what they're paying the employee. That will be our cost. Based on operating roughly 53,515 hours a year, it will cost the county about $674,289. We budgeted this year $705,500 in the budget to take care of this. So with that, would like to get your approval to award the contract to Holden Temporaries.
Are there any questions for Mr. Demery? Ms. Ward, was that you?
No questions. I was going to make a motion.
Okay, Mr. Question or comment?
I would like to make several comments. It seems to me, Mr. Demery, that Trust Denham has had this, they have 5 sites, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And, how many years has Trust Denham operated these 5 sites?
Since 2008.
How many years?
Since 2008, 14 years? Isn't that right?
Yes,
Maths.
Okay.
I think so.
And and through those years, from my recollection, it's been pretty favorable. They've done
We've had
a good job.
I've had issues with all of them.
I certainly would like to see. I understand, the price rate of $13.24 versus $12.60. It's not that much difference, and I certainly would like to see at least Trust Denham retain the 5 sites that they have now, and to continue on. I can understand maybe giving the other sites, if need be, to Holden. But that would be my recommendation for this.
Okay, I see 2 hands. Are there questions and discussion?
I have a question for the
Yes.
Miss.
Ms. White, Attorney White, Commissioner White, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Madam Manager, what would the price difference be? I know when you look at an individual hour price difference, it's not that much. I know our policy is typically go with the lowest bidder, so I'm curious what that price difference would be when you do all that math and figure and multiply by that large number of hours.
Yes, and I'll defer that to Mr. Demery if he knows it off the top of his head.
So back in June, I did some analysis on hourly rates, and $13.30 would cost, and this is all sites, $13.30 charged to the county would cost us additional $74,000. And then say $14 rate would cost us $224,000 more dollars.
Thank you.
We're still in discussion and comments. Commissioner Huggins.
I believe, I agree with Commissioner McLaughlin. Trusts have had it for 14 years, and it's not that much difference either. We would be within the budget amount, would we not?
Yes,
Yes.
it would still be within budget.
We'd still be in the budget. So and we would be given a small business an opportunity to serve in the county. So I would be in favor of letting them continue with the 5.
We are still in discussion and item for comment, Commissioner Nunley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm looking at all 3 bids. Last budget year, we had a focus on employees and our people. And I see that 2 of the companies include a health insurance option, dental vision insurance, and 401k, and 2 include personal sick leave. And so we've got a little bit of differentiation there. And I wonder, and maybe you could, Mr. Demery, you can shed some light on this for me, but I wonder what, the lowest bid has an employee health insurance option. What, if any, impact does that have for the employees that work the sites and your operation? Financially?
Doesn't it impact our operation any? I guess I'm not sure.
I guess what I'm getting at is that we've got a $9 an hour employee rate for Holden Temporary.
Correct.
Right. but it's got employee-paid health insurance.
Right.
Buy into a plan, presumably that would be bought
By
with their salary.
Right.
And I guess my question is, what is the true take-home after health insurance pursuant to that plan, if that was even gotten into?
No, sir, I did not
Okay,
ask that
that's fine.
question.
Commissioner Tom Coson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You answered for all 14 sites a minute ago, but what would the cost differential be for the 5?
I don't have that number. I would,
Well, we're talking about 5, and I would have anticipated you anticipating 5, and that maybe being a question. And I agree that they've been there for 14 years. They've done a good job. I've been to a couple of their sites periodically, off and on. They keep it clean. They do a good job, and so on. But I'd like to ask another question. What is the lowest paid county employee?
Full-time employee would be
Full-
15, we have, based on discussions at budget last year, every employee with benefits, full or part-time, is making $15 per hour.
So now we got these private entities, and we're kind of squeezing them to keep people in poverty. $9 an hour. Let's say they work 40 hours a week. $360 in taxes are taken out. Can anybody on this board survive on that? Even if it's a part-time job, it doesn't bring in a lot of money. And I just hate the fact, and I knew the answer to that, but I wanted everybody else to hear it. It seems to me unconscionable that we're asking somebody to come in with a low bid and we're squabbling over a $9 an hour. I think that's to our shame. Thank you. I have nothing further to say.
Anyone care to ask questions and comment who's not spoken? Commissioner Huggins.
Commissioner Nunley asked a good question, but about the health insurance. And just as county employees have an option to purchase health insurance, they may not be able to purchase it because of the small amount of money they get, as Tom said, $9 an hour. So when we see insurance, health insurance, that's just an option. It doesn't mean that that employee has health insurance. So in making comparison, I just want to raise that issue.
Commissioner Nunley, and then Commissioner McLaughlin, and if there's an additional ones who have not spoken, may have a chance. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I agree with Tom that baseline, we need to be treating everyone with fairness on the hourly rate. And I agree that we need to be doing more for the people that maybe are not seen because of a third-party contract. What I would like to hear, John, is what the cost to the county would be hypothetically if we were to take a direction from a policy standpoint that we would say, hey, look, you know, if you're working for us, we're going to make sure that you're taken care of according to the way that we treat our employees. What do you have, what that number would be, and would that number be within our budgeted figure for this fiscal year?
Okay, so I did an analysis, and I did $12.60, which is $9, and went $9.50, $10, $12, $12.50, and $15 to the employee. So the cost to the county would be, at $15, the cost of the county at a 40% markup, and that's, I based it on Holden Temporaries. That's what they charge, is a 40% markup. That would cost county $21 an hour for a total yearly cost of $1.1 million. Roughly $450,000 more than what it would cost us at $9. And I also looked at it, if just in case the board chose to do this, we may have to look at raising the household fee. It's currently at $120. So what I did is I figured what each one of these costs would have an impact on the household fee. And that, to go up $450,000, we'd have to raise the household fee $5.77, roughly $6. The $1.1 million would be over what we budgeted in that line item at $15 an hour.
I think the county manager has additional response from Commissioner Cosom.
Yeah, I think the question was, what would be the additional cost for the 5 sites only? And if I did the quick math and took $13.24 minus $12.60, the difference in rate, and I divided the total number of hours, which is for 14 sites, by 14 times 12, you get a difference of $12,232 for the year.
Thank you.
I do want to caution the board about, I completely understand the change in minimum pay for these service contracts, but keep in mind, this is not the only service contract that we have. So there's housekeeping services, there's lawn care services, there's other services within the county that we would obviously have to go back and address that would significantly impact our budget. So if it's, if you're going to have consistency across the board, I want to mention that, the time to do that, the time to visit this would probably be during budget time, where it would impact John's budget as well as the overall budget of the county. So just want to throw that out there.
Commissioner McGlaughlin,
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair.
your final comment?
I certainly think that Commissioner Colson's point was very well taken. And listening to the comment made just now, maybe we can consider that additional prices during our budget time of reconciliation. But I'm looking at the what Trustee Denham is doing. I think they are proposing week paid vacation and time and a half holiday pay and sick leave, and I think that's very, very beneficial in terms of the employees. I think the other one is having 401k, but we have to be very considerate of our employees. So I think at this time, I would like to see, and I'd like to make a motion that we keep Trust Denham.
Could you hold your motion, Commissioner McGlaughlin?
I'm sorry?
Can you hold your motion for a moment? We have 2 commissioners not registered in it. Would you like to be given the opportunity? Thank you. I'm ready to receive motions.
That we keep the Trust Denham with 5 sites and give the other, I think it's Holden temporary, the remaining sites.
Second.
It has been motioned by Commissioner McGlaughlin and seconded by Commissioner Tom Coson that we keep the 5 sites with Denham. All in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Madam Clerk, did you get the vote?
What is your vote?
I'm with them.
Okay, so 7-2.
The motion that Commissioner McGlaughlin has made passes at 7-2.
For clarification, does that also include the other 9 to Holden? Yes.
Okay, so let's make it official. Could we have a motion about the other 9?
So moved.
It's been
Second.
motioned by Commissioner
Second.
Commissioner Huggins that we award this other 9 to the group Holden. And it's been seconded by McGlaughlin. All in favor, let it be known by showing your right hand. Thank you very much. It's unanimous, Madam Clerk. P.J. Andrews is next. String flow rehabilitation assistance.
Commissioner Ward, I appreciate the plug about our breakfast.
Oh,
See everybody there.
Food is good.
it is very, very nice.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Madam Chairman, Madam Manager, members of the board. Thank you for having me tonight. I'm going to go over the Streamflow Rehabilitation Assistance Program. It's a mouthful grant that we have received. We've been awarded right at $415,000 to the Division of Soil and Water Conservation for removal of storm-related debris. Our project activity is going to be focused on Canita Creek, which is north of the river. The initial grant period runs through July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023, with the possibility of renewal of funds in the future to become available, and there are no county matching funds required. So a little bit about the program. This is a little bit different than some of our other programs we've had in the past. Some of the programs we've used have been more hurricane relief related grants. This is very similar to that, but there were some requirements for these monies to be spent that did make it a little challenging in the beginning of taking the debris out of the 100-year floodplain. And all of you being from Eastern North Carolina know our floodplains and how wide they are in certain areas. So it had to be processed in these three manners, which is chipping, cabling or strapping to it in a secured manner outside of the immediate stream area, and burning. However, with this site, here's the map on Canita Creek. We were able to do the chipping. It's approximately 10 miles. And a lot of people have questions as far as what is debris removal. I've heard it snag and drag, called a lot of different things. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. So this is the type of material that we're trying to get out of our channels to help alleviate flooding. This will not alleviate us from a flooding from something like Hurricane Floyd or something like this. This is for our first flush, these heavy rains that we get. We've been very successful in the Grifton area, the Farmville area with these projects. Had a lot of good feedback. Here's a few more pictures of recent pictures on the Canita Creek watershed. So you can see just a hodgepodge of a lot of different things. And our staff recommendations tonight is to authorize the manager to execute this contract. If anybody has any questions.
So moved, Madam Chair.
I second it.
It has been motioned by Commissioner Nunley and second by Commissioner Ward that we approve the recommendation. Any discussion?
I just want to say what a great job PJ does. I wear my farmer hat also dealing with him, not just the commissioner hat, and you always do a great job, so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner White.
I'll ditto that. He's been great for us around the Winterville area.
Thank you, Commissioner Smith. Any more comments about PJ's wonderful work? We're ready to vote, please. All in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Opposed, the same. The motion passed unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to you.
Congratulations,
Thank you
everyone.
very much.
And you did not want to miss going to the breakfast. I'll reiterate that one more time.
Thank you very much.
You'll meet some cool people, and it's delicious.
Duly noted, Commissioner Ward. The manager is on, is that, yep?
Your last item for business this evening is to approve your 2023 board meeting calendar and fiscal year 23-24 budget calendar.
Motion approved.
Second.
It has been motioned by Commissioner Nunley that we approve the presentation from the manager, and a second by Commissioner Huggins. Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Any opposes? The motion passed unanimously, madam. We are now to the wonderful part. Commissioner's comment. I'll start from my right.
Starting down here.
All right.
I'm just glad to be here. It
All
took me
right.
a long time. So.
Nunley?
I'd like to congratulate all of the commissioners for another year of service that we're lining up, but in particular the new elected county commissioners. So look forward to working with you both.
Okay. And we'll start from Tom.
None.
And?
Also want to congratulate the new commissioners and us who are re-elected. And I'm looking forward to working with the new ones. I also want to say something. I know I did not mention it, that the manager received her credentials for parliamentarian. So I want to congratulate her on that.
Commissioner Huggins. Thank you. Commissioner White.
Just like to welcome Commissioner Smith and Commissioner Holloman to the board.
McLaughlin?
I'd certainly like to say the same thing. I'd like to congratulate Commissioner Smith and Holloman, and certainly looking forward to working with him, and hopefully we'll have a very good, smooth relationship. I think we will. And I'd certainly like to congratulate you, Madam Chair, and Mr. Vice Chair. Job well done. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Smith?
Just want to thank everybody for all the help so far. The staff has been wonderful, and I'm looking forward to working with everybody. Thank you.
Any follow-up comments, Manager?
Not this evening. Thank you.
I'd like to thank all of you for your kindness and services, and the staff and county officials as well. And to Commissioner White for opening the meeting. I think it was well done.
Thank you.
I'd like to hear the favorite motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Who was that? Commissioner White. Motion to adjourn. It was seconded by Commissioner McLaughlin. All in favor? Let us raise our hand and stand and get out.